This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Almighty, YAHAWAH shall bring upon it. I'll read that again. Egypt shall mourn, Egypt representing America, and the foundations of it shall be smitten, the land, with the plague and punishment that YAHAWAH shall bring upon it. Look around. Babylon the Great has been hit with fires, storms, floods, derechos, which are land hurricanes, drought. The Mississippi is drying up. So we see that the Lord is smiting it with the plague and punishment. All right, as he did in ancient Egypt, it was struck with locusts, frogs, flies. Okay, hail mixed with fire. All right, the Nile was struck. So with that, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM. YAHAWAH is the name of the Heavenly Father in whom the world has ignorantly called Jehovah or Yahweh. And YAHAWASHI is the name of his only begotten Son in whom the world has ignorantly called Jesus Christ, in whom we do worship. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Giving double honors unto my apostles, my elders, and my teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so, that taught me and brothers like me this truth, this beautiful truth, beginning with the names of our power and of his anointed. Now, these are the two most important things you will ever know. Coming into this truth, finding out that you're an Israelite, are the names of the Heavenly Father and the name of his only begotten Son, who is the middleman between us and our God, the Prince of Peace. Only through him can there be peace between you and the Father. For if you do not believe on the Son, the wrath of the Father is still on you. So these are the two most important things you will ever know. The name of the Heavenly Father and his Son. Their true and proper names. The name of the Heavenly Father is YAHAWAH. Yah, meaning he. Hawa, meaning exists, or is to be. He is, he exists, he, the existing one. And the name of his only begotten Son, his true and proper name, the name YAHAWASHI. Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning deliverer and savior. And that is exactly what he's going to come do for the second time in physical form as an angelic power, an angelic force to rescue those that be of a righteous conversation, of a godly conversation, the way they live, and they shall be changed. And those that do sleep, which means to be dead, they will be raised up first with him. You see? And on that same day, the Lord is going to deliver the wicked and the ungodly to destruction. All right? So, hey, call Allah YAHAWAH, man. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to read this scripture and I'm going to play this clip from CNN going into this, the railroad strikers. All right, I don't think they reached an agreement. They believe that they're going to reach an agreement. I mean, you know, you got to be optimistic if it's your country that's in crisis or failure. But it ain't going to be so, because the prophecies already state that these cities are going to be thrown down. These cities are going to be miserable. Where our children served, the sons of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So it is what it is. This is the beginning of the end. These are the beginning of sorrows. All right, famines, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing all those things. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that YAHAWAH shall bring upon it. You hear the Mississippi is drying up. Okay. The breadbasket of America has been hit with twisters, storms, derechos, land hurricanes, droughts, flooding. All right, then the seeds are spoiled because they've been mixed or they're Monsanto. So the Lord is plaguing the hell out of this place. Certain trade routes and things of that nature are being cut off. And now the way that they actually move the goods to and fro is at a standstill at this time. I mean, it's still moving, but at a slower pace than it was before the pandemic. All right, and now it's getting to a point where these railroads may be in danger. Okay, but it's all of the Lord. 2 Esdras 15-13. They that till the ground, the farmers, no more farmers, Marcus. The farmland has been bought up by government entities, preferably this dude Kill Gates. All right. Why is that? Because they want to issue out the food to you people. They want to be like Joseph was in ancient Egypt, but in a wicked form. That you have to come to them for the one of all things. And if you don't come to them in the way that they see fit, then you will die, because they're going to offer you something. The RFID, the MOTB, the mark of the beast. All right. The elect is going to be fed and taken care of, but the rest, they're going to be brought to heel. All right. Now this is 2 Esdras 15-13. They that till the ground. Lord's will not call this lesson Egypt shall mourn. And put in the brackets America. But it reads, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail. A Monsanto. Through the blasting and hail, the Lord sent these different storms and droughts and twisters and what they call these tropical storms. You know, that season, the tropical storm season or the storm season. Hey, it is what it is. And with fearful constellations, like it. So when you go into constellation, it's like it. What the hell happened? Hold on, brothers. All right, I'm back. I don't know what happened. It was tripping. But you go into constellation. Let's go there right now. Because it's something that the farmers use. They call it a farmer's almanac. All right, they got to look at the signs in the heavens if it's going to be a good harvest season or it's going to be horrible. I know it has to deal with stars, but they have to look. Yep, there it is. Constellation, it says position of a planet in the zodiac, whatever. Let's go to the root of the word. Set with the stars. Okay. Bear with me, brothers. It says, as supposed to exert influence on human affairs. And that's beautiful because in Luke it says, in the signs in the heavens, right after it mentioned the signs of the heavens, immediately right after that it said, distress upon nations with perplexity. And you go into that word perplexity, excuse me. You go into that word perplexity. The root of the word is lack of resources. Okay, hence famine. All right, the lack thereof. Now I'm gonna play this little quick clip. It's like 2 minutes 20 seconds. This dude on CNN talking about the very thing in the article, the national freight rail strike in 2 weeks. It might be a crippling blow. America faces a growing risk of crippling national freight rail strikes in 2 weeks. The rank and file member of the nation's largest rail union, which represents the industry's conductors, rejected a tentative labor deal with freight railroads, and the union announced Monday. Now let's play this. Shalawam. So like it's taking so long. Dang, what's going on? Hold on. All right, I'm back, Akim. It was a quick commercial, so that was all the spirit that I skipped that, man, because it's some stupid HBO crap. But all right, here's the actual interview. Shalawam.
Voted down this tentative agreement. Where do we stand with negotiations right now?
There's certainly a path forward there. The railroads have shown a commitment and a willingness to reach agreements based on the recommendations of President Biden's Presidential Emergency Board. And that's something that we stand by and are prepared to reach agreements to go back out for ratification with those three unions.
What will it take to get paid sick time potentially in a new agreement?
Well, again, we're committed to getting agreements that are within the grounds and within the bounds of the PEB agreement.
Okay, so
no, and that can come in a lot of different forms.
But no paid sick time.
And I've made clear that
it's not in the PEB though. So right. That's not something you're willing to negotiate on. But there are other things that you might be able to negotiate on.
If our union partners have ideas for how they would like to restructure things based on the PEB agreement, we're ready, willing, able to have those conversations, and those conversations continue.
Congress has a role in this. They could come in and extend cooling off periods. They could impose a contract. If it's getting down to the wire, do you want them to get involved?
I don't think it's anyone's goal to get Congress involved. But Congress has shown a willingness historically to intervene if necessary.
Do you feel confident that you can produce bipartisan legislation to allow Congress to step in if needed?
Well, I think it's an imperative to do so, if necessary.
It's no secret that President Biden is a pro-union president. Do you feel that in these negotiations, the railroads have sort of the deck stacked against them because it's so known that President Biden is so in support of unions?
Well, he's certainly been very vocal about that, and I think that's a positive, quite frankly. We know that when the administration comes to the table, that they have the workers' priorities first, which makes total sense.
How possible is it, do you think, that we could end up with a nationwide rail strike?
I would say that I'm confident we can get a path forward for all 12 of our unions to have ratified agreements before any sort of work stoppage occurs.
He doesn't look confident with that answer. But hey, I mean, you got to be optimistic if it's your country that's on the chopping block, so to speak. But America is through. That there shall be no work for Egypt that the head, tail, or brush may do. You know, the head or the tail, it says from the top to the bottom, man, ain't going to be no work for Egypt. That's right here in Isaiah 19. But it goes to show you that it has to start somewhere. You got to remember how the Lord struck Egypt. The first plague that he sent on Egypt, if I'm not mistaken, was the Nile being struck, turned to blood. And it said the river stank and the fish died. So it means that the Nile River became stagnant, right? That was their railway system, so to speak. But it was like a waterway system where they was shipping goods up and down the Nile to different places, getting things to different cities. That's how the railroads work. They're just like the truckers, because if they didn't have the railways, they would have to double the truckers, man. And they ain't got enough for that. So the rail way really does a number. It really helps them out economically through their trafficking. It said that they was going to get rich through traffic. All right, in Ezekiel, what was that, 20? Let's go there right now, real quick, since I mentioned it. Ezekiel, through their traffic. Upon the seas, on land, and the air. Let's go there. Ezekiel. That's how these devils got rich. Is it 28? Let's see here. Yep, there it is. Ezekiel 28 and 4, excuse me. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten the riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart, your mind, was lifted up as Esau Edom, because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH by Shemashai power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, because this place is going to be invaded, and they shall draw their swords against thee, because war is going to come. World War III, ultimately, against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. And it's going to really begin with the allies of America, because it said that the beast is going to hate the whore. We see that now with Holland breaking their sanctions against Russia, and what they're doing to Germany, and then you got the crises of the pipelines exploding, and then those missiles landing in Poland. That could have actually been an escalation, but they kind of quelled that down. So it goes to show you, saying the beast is going to hate the whore. What did it mention in there? It says that they were going to make her naked, the her being America, naked, then burn her with fire, and that fire is nuclear fire. So it said they're going to draw out the swords against this demon. All right, and that's spiritual, because I was just reading that in second Esdras. The next verse was going into war into the world, for a sword in their destruction draweth nigh, which is going into war. Let's get that right now. Okay. Was it 6? No, it's 15. So like right here, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword in their destruction, the ultimate sword is the war, to end all wars, World War III. But it's going to be different battles, skirmishes, trade wars leading up to this escalation. All right. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people, because in these different homelands of these people, the people themselves are going to rise up against each other because of the lack of resources, and they're going to plunder each other for their goods because of the great tribulation, the great squeezing. All right, the pressure is going to be on from all sides because they're going to pressure the people into taking what? Taking part in their digital system. All right, it's all been planned out. It's all of YAHAWASHI, but he's using these devils to play their role. All right. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. The modern day swords are guns. This place is heavily armed. The U.S. is through, man. If there's a railway strike, we already know what's going to ensue. Neighbors plundering one another. Woo! Forever purge. Come on now. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, because that's the rising up of the people against a monarchy or a state. Let's get that. Don't get that. Sedition. Salakia. There it is. Sedition. It says, sedition, a noun. Rebellion, uprising, revolt. Factitious commotion in the state. It's going to be a factitious, well, not factitious, but it's going to be a commotion in the state. All right. It says civil authority, or it says concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. You're going to have that civil war. Different militia groups attacking federal or political buildings. All right. Kidnapping political leaders, taking over political factions, and taking powers into their own hands. It says violent strife between factions. There you go. Civil war. The left versus the right. Okay, the Republican versus a Democrat, man versus woman, race versus race. There it is. It says civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. Because hey, the police force has already been defunded. So whatever they're gonna bring in next, which is it has to be a military faction. That's what they're gonna do. But also in the midst of that is gonna be a military invasion of these different troopers, the blue helmets, UN. And America's enemies, the Russians, Spetsnaz, the Chinese soldiers, the Koreans, they all gonna be here in this land when the time gets to the sedition, man. Then hence Jacob's trouble. All right, because this man gonna know that he has a short time to actually get this thing rolling. Hey, 144. And he's running out of time as we speak. So let's go back to the scriptures. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, an uprising, and in invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. They're not going to regard political leaders, all right, or their prime ministers or presidents or mayors or governors or whoever. They're not going to regard them. In the course of their actions, the people shall stand in their power. You're going to have a lot of assholes and idiots screaming, I have the right to bear arms, God damn it. You're going to have to take my gun from my cold dead fingers. They're going to really take that sentiment and be like, it's all right to have a gun. So fuck y'all, It's going to be, they ain't going to give a shit what Biden says or whoever the hell gets on the TV screen saying, please, everybody calm down. Please return to your homes. They ain't going to give a shit because they're going to be starving. Their belly going to be touching their back. They going to want what the other guy has. And they going to have that power to actually get what they want. There ain't going to be no standing law. It's going to be rebelliousness. Faction versus faction. Okay? Uprising against civil authority. Come on now. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Then they're going to bring in that martial law. They're like, well, these people, they can't be stopped. They won't stay in their homes. So they're going to set up military factions and military bases and military checkpoints so that people cannot move round about. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, these people, the city shall be troubled. The Lord's going to be sending, it ain't going to just be sedition amongst men and warring, but it's going to be pestilence. It's going to be plague. It's going to be disease. It's going to be lack of resources. It's going to be the killing with the sword. It's going to be ravenous beasts wandering around hungry. It's going to be darkness in certain places. It's going to be apparitions attacking people. People are going to be possessed. Men is going to gain spiritual power. Okay? There's going to be an abundance to the elect. but for you people, you're going to be destroyed, troubled. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed by the military factions, by men themselves, by plundering. And men shall be afraid because certain militia groups or military battalions, along with those robot dogs and other things of that nature, the exoskeleton suit, soldiers, super soldiers, robots, they're going to go into these houses and take men away to where? Concentration camps, to be chipped or tortured to death. All right? It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, because it's going to get this bad. But it's all according to these elites' plan. Order out of chaos. They have to bring the chaos force. But really, the first author of this is YAHAWASHI. He's going to bring the chaos in order to establish the order. And that's when you're going to know who are the Lord's chosen, because they're going to be in order. They're going to fear YAHAWASHI. Everybody else is going to be out for themselves, and they're going to be eventually killed or captured or taken or destroyed. Or chipped, waiting to be destroyed by a nuclear missile. Because that war is going to escalate. They ain't going to have enough bodies, so they're going to start drafting men. Hey, that's why I said men going to be afraid of that too. If they break in your house, they may not even kill your ass. They'll be like, hey, you, come with us. Like, who you talking about? I have my family, my sister. You're coming with us. You're going to be enlisted into the army. We're going to send your ass over there to the Middle East. Not knowing this guy in his head, he going to die. Boots on the ground, he's done. Okay? All quiet on the Western Front through. Ain't nobody going to make it. All right? If you get shipped over there, you're done. Plus, before you even had boots on the ground, we had an inside scoop some years ago. Northern Kingdom came and said that he was going to go into the military, and the brothers told him not to. They told him about the MOTB, Revelation 13. And he says, oh, yeah, you're right. I was just about to do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. But he said before you even start basic training, they give you that RFID chip. He actually knew what it was. And then there was a dude from the Southern Kingdom, Levi. This clown said that he had like 4 chips in him already. Come on, man. So all military personnel has to have it for the most part, if I'm not mistaken. You know? So all those military men and women, they're going to die. And then you people, the populace that get the chip, you're going to die because you're going to have a date with a missile. You're going to have the drink of the wrath of YAHAWASHI. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, a great squeezing together. And right around that same time, what's going to go on? World War III. 2nd Esdras 15 and 20, here it is. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun in the east, from the south, from the east, further east, right? Russia, China, North Korea, South Korea, a united Korea, baby. Korea's going to unite. I don't give a damn what you say. Because you got to remember, it's all the Lord's movie, so you know what's going to happen. Japan still wants revenge for what happened to them at the end of World War II. Then you have the actual allies of America that's disgruntled right now. And according to prophecy, the beast, which is NATO and the EU, are going to hate the whore, which is America, riding the beast. See, but the Lord is going to bring this war. Why? Because of what they done to us. Joel 3. Joel 3 and 1, it said that they're going to be gathered because the Lord is going to turn back our captivity, the captivity of Judah and Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the Lord is going to take us out of captivity, beginning with the hopeful elect. And the beginning of that is World War III. It says, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, further east, and Lebanon, which is in the north, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Who? The Lord's people, beginning with the hopeful elect. All right, now let's get up out of here. Go to the blue letter. All right, this was happening to Babylon the Great. This was happening to modern Egypt. It's Isaiah 19 and 6. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up, and the reeds and flags shall wither. You see that? Excuse me. Hold on, brothers. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Let's keep going. I'm going to read the NLT. It says, the canals of the Nile will dry up. Now, if that happened in the ancient world to the actual Egyptians and the Nile dried up, how are they going to move things up and down the Nile if it was dried up? Just like the Mississippi, which would be like the Nile of America. Now, the Nile in ancient Egypt actually drying up would have been detrimental to them because, hey, how you going to move things up and down? How you going to move goods up and down? We see that going on with the railroads. The strike that may commence, not may, will commence, because they know they only have a few more, I say, days to really make an agreement before it really gets hectic, because they're already in this weak-ass holiday season, right? And if you can't get nothing moving, then hey, you're done. You're through. Because we're beginning, winter's coming, winter's here, and it's only going to get worse in this winter. I pray and hope that this is that dark winter that they've been talking about. Okay? So it says, the canals of the Nile will dry up, and the streams of Egypt will stink. That means the Lord's going to stop the flow, because if water is flowing, that makes it clean. A constant flow of water is like a shower or a waterfall. You want the constant flow of water. You know, the fishes going upstream, they jumping, they dancing, everything's moving, right? But how the Lord is stopping the flow of goods and bread through Babylon is what he did to ancient Egypt by striking it with blood. That stopped everything. Every vessel of water was filled with blood, turned into blood. And then the fish in the river stank because it became stagnant. The Lord is stagnating this flow of currency, this flow of goods. That is the bloodline, the bloodline of Babylon the Great, aka America. Okay? It says the canals of the Nile will dry up, and the streams of Egypt will stink with rotting reeds and rushes. So from a flowing river to a stagnant, a swamp-filled, dead river, and just like in ancient Egypt when the Nile was struck, it said, and the river stank, and the fish died in the river, man. All right, let's read verse 7. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. Hey, just like when Joseph foretold Pharaoh's, he broke down Pharaoh's dream of the famine, it said that the very memory of those 7 years of plenty was forgotten in the minds of the people, man, because the famine was that severe and that great. And we know that we're coming into a time that is not like any other time since there was a nation, according to Daniel. Okay? Isaiah 19:7. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. NLT. All the greenery along the riverbanks and all the crops, that's the point, along the river will dry up and blow away. Pretty much all the goods are going to stop, and there ain't going to be no more goods after that point. Because if you go into the actual Nile River, if you know ancient Egypt and just the way it conducted itself, the Nile to the Egyptian people, Mizraim, was life itself. So once the Lord struck it with blood and just stopped it, whoa, they were through. Done. Okay? Call all YAHAWASHI, man. All right? And then we're going through a famine. It said that they thirsted in another fashion. You get that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon when it goes deeper into what happened in ancient Egypt. Our people was suffered thirst in a sense when we came out of Egypt, and our people was begging Moses for that water, and he smote the rock and the waters came out. But the Lord did that to prove, or to let to prove our people and to let them know that, dang, your enemies, the Egyptians, were thirsting in another manner, because once the Nile was struck, all production stopped. Boom, right there. And then all the vessels of water within the land of Egypt, in their houses, outside their houses, in the barrels, all of that was turned to blood as well. And they thirsted. Hence famine, lack of resources, lack of that fresh water. You see, that's what the Lord is doing to these modern day Egyptians, these devils. It says all greenery along the riverbank and all the crops along the river will dry up and blow away. The Lord is going, hey, man, all the goods is going to stop, and all the goods that you thought was coming in, hey, they going to be no more. They're going to blow away somewhere. They're going to go somewhere else. Just like certain Chinese ships that had goods on them that was here at this Long Beach port, a lot of them turned back and sailed home. Like, hey, all right, if you niggas ain't gonna, like, you know, they like, all right, if you niggas ain't gonna buy, we'll go sell it to somebody else. Fuck y'all, you know. But it is what it is. Hey, Lord is blowing away the good of the good of Babylon. YAHAWASHI is blowing it away, man. All right, it's just like when you see a damn on a cartoon, you see what they call it, the little ball that blows in the wind in the desert. What is that called? I forget what that's called. I'm thinking of like a hay ball of hay. Nah, not that. I don't know, something. But pretty much that's that. If you watch a cartoon, you see that, then you know, okay, that's a desertous place, or it's dried out, or there's just nothing out there, no man's land. But hold on, bear with me. All right, I'm back, Akim. Oh, yeah, it was called a tumbleweed. If you see that just blowing around, and you know, oh yeah, this place is through, it's dried out, it's done. All right, reading on verse 8. The fishers also shall mourn, and those fishers, hey, if you're a fisherman, you know, okay, whatever I catch, I'm gonna go to the market, I'm gonna sell it. So the fishers now would be these different the companies. You know, you got the certain Chinese companies that bring their goods in, and then they bring them from the boats, and then they take them off the boats, put them at the ports, and then the trucks come, put them on the back of the trucks, and the trucks drive them to wherever they need to go, whether it be steel or wheat or materials or iron or tin or goods or wood or whatever. But if all that's stopped and it's through, then it's like, damn. And if the fishers are mourning, why would fishers mourn? Because they ain't getting no catch. They ain't producing nothing. They ain't getting anything. It's just wasting time, pretty much. It says the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament. Because when you cast your net or your line into the ocean, you cast it at a certain point, like, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of fish over here. I should get something. But if you casting it right there, you be like, damn, I've been here for like 3-5 hours. I ain't got nothing. Let me cast it over here. Then you there for another 5 hours and still nothing. You're casting your angle into different spots, but still nothing is being produced. Okay. It says the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. Ain't nobody catching nothing. Ain't nobody making any profit, no money. Because with this railroad thing, that they're optimistic. They want the best, right? There's 12 unions, right? It's Spirit 12 unions, right? They want the best, but if they don't get to an agreement, that's just wasting time. You sitting at the damn table and you're not reaching any agreement, it's just wasting time. Like, what about the production? If we're not actually moving or producing anything, then that's just making things worse. The longer you at the negotiating table. It says the fishermen will lament for lack of work. Woo! Those who cast hooks into the Nile will groan, and those who use nets will lose heart. Hey, these different unions, the workers, everybody, they're losing heart. Like, man. And you had the Great Resignation, where people didn't even want to go back to work, or they just was like, I quit, I'm through, fuck this, whatever. And then you had the point where they were just firing people, not knowing, like, you need all these people. You need these bodies. If you don't got them, and you done, you're through. It's Isaiah 19:9. Moreover, they that work and find flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded, right? It's funny, I like how social networks, right? That's how a lot of these businesses is getting their moolah as well. You know, you got the Uber Eats, Uber Eats. You got the what they call it? You got the where they go to the stores. So Grubhub, Uber Eats, and you have what's that called with the Instacart and all that. But then even with a lot of these orders on Instacart, you know, being actually doing that, it's funny because half of the stuff that they want you to pick up, they don't even have it anymore. You'll go to the inventory or whatever. The inventory was like, hey man, we ordered this about like 3 weeks ago, man. If you don't see it, hey man, we ain't got it. You know, hopefully we'll have it in another week or two or whatever. And then the truckers are saying, well, okay, we can get it and produce it, but if we don't get it from the ports or wherever the hell it comes from, then we can't get it to the stores. So everybody's like, well, we're blaming you. And they're like, well, don't blame us. We get it from the truckers. Then the truckers are, don't blame us because we get it from the ships or wherever the hell it comes from. But if there ain't none for us to carry to the stores, then you ain't going to get that. You're just going to be out of that. And it goes to show you famine has already set into this place. Networks are already down, broken. You got the Twitter mess. I think they was bought out or whatever. And then they firing people. So it's like, damn, there's a lot going on if you're paying attention. Now, this is Isaiah 19:9 NLT. There will be no more flax for the harvesters, nor threads for the weavers. So you ain't got the materials you need to even produce anything. You need the materials to even make certain things. There's certain foods that's made with the corn, oil, olive oil, whatever the hell. And a lot of products is made with these different minor elements that you would think, oh, it's just some oil. Oh, it's just coconut oil, or it's just corn oil. But corn oil is in a lot of things that you might eat or consume. And without that, that's taken away that central ingredient. And now you don't have that ingredient anymore or that specific food. Right? Verse 10. And it's funny because on the clip, the dude was like, well, the woman was like, well, President Biden and his administration is pro-union, pro-people or whatever. And he's like, that's good. He's like, if that has to happen in the Senate or whoever has to come in and kind of like get the ball rolling, then, that has happened historically, but they don't want it to get to that point. But it has happened historically. And it's funny because when Egypt was plagued, it wasn't just the common people or the poor of Egypt. It was everybody from the king on the throne to the dude in the prison house. They all suffered together. Each plague gave a significant blow to Egypt and all the inhabitants of Egypt. I don't give a damn who you was, from the king to the dude in the prison. You're suffering. But yet, if you're an Israelite, if you were an Israelite, you had light. Your cattle didn't die. You didn't get the boils. You didn't get the frogs. You didn't get the plague. You didn't have your water turn to blood. None of that affected Israel, but it affected the Egyptians. You see that? But now our people that want to join hand in hand with this modern Egypt, you going to suffer the plagues. All right? This is Isaiah 19:10. They will be in despair, and all the workers will be sick at heart. In your mind, you're going to be sick like, hey, the great resignation. All right, a lot of people didn't want to go to work no more. Certain people was laid off because of the juicy juice. They lost a job or they quit their job. Or when everything shut down, they wasn't really an essential worker, so they got fired and shit like that, man. Verse 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools going into the political parties, man. The damn Senate and all these other people, they can't help. They can give good speeches, fair speeches, and what they think should happen. But what the hell is going to happen? It says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. So they can't even go to the president about anything because he can only do so much. He's not God. He's not, he can't stop the famine from happening. He can't bring forth rain and all that. So they're fools, man. And it's funny because a fool is one that believes that there is no power. So that's it. And it's funny because the Egyptians, when the plagues were hidden, they went to their gods. They was trying to combat what the Lord was doing with the plagues, but they couldn't. They're like, oh, man, this is a higher power. This is the God of Israel that's doing this. And I read earlier in 2nd Esdras that the Lord was going to smite Egypt with plagues, as before. Well, I don't know if I read that one, but it said the Lord was going to smite Egypt in the foundations. He going to smite it, It says, what fools are the officials of Zoan? Their best counsel to the king of Egypt, which is funny, the Senate House, whether it be Democrat or Republican, they have to go to the president with these issues. It says the best or their best counsel to the king of Egypt is stupid and wrong. Will they still boast to Pharaoh of their wisdom? because they've been elected. They're a senator because they know a little something. The people put their weak ass in there or whatever. That's what they say. We're here to serve you, the people, which is all crap. This is where they dare brag about all their wise ancestors, like the men that came before that was a senator or whatever. They actually got shit done. Now these senators, these idiots, they ain't getting nothing done. Okay? This is Isaiah 19:12. It says, where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. They don't want to come to the men of the Lord, beginning with our apostles and elders. They don't want to come. It's just like Moses and Aaron has something to tell Pharaoh. You better let our people go, or another plague is going to come to you. This plague that's happening to you now, we can go to our God. He'll take it away. But best believe there's something worse that's going to come after this. Let our people go. Let Israel go. But these devils now, these modern day Egyptians, they're calling the men of the Lord terrorists and a hate group and all that. But we're only telling you, thus saith the Lord. All right. It says, where are your wise counselors, Pharaoh? Let them tell you what Yahweh plans. BAHASHAM, what the Lord YAHWASHI of heaven's armies is going to do to Egypt, America. We'll let you know what the Lord is going to do to this place, but you don't want to hear what the Lord is going to do. Verse 13, Isaiah 19:13. So like the princes of Zoan are become fools. Yep, and it should mention the princes of Zoan again. These officials, man. That's why it said that they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. And the course of their action is going to stand in their power. The people going to get fed up and say, fuck you officials, man. Deaf to you. You know? It says, the princes of Nope are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt. Even they that are stayed are the stay of the tribes thereof. And I'm going to get that word seduced. The officials of Zoan are fools, and the officials of Memphis are deluded. The leaders of the people have led Egypt astray. Yep, these leaders have led America astray, man. Now let's get the word seduced. Where we at? Not bad. We'll get the word seduced. All right. Seduced or seduce. The word there is a verb. Seduce is an action. It says to persuade a vassal. Somebody that's serving a bigger entity. All right, you got vassal states, just like the ancient Roman Empire was the empire. The capital was in Rome, Italy, but it had vassal states, Gaul, which is France, Germania Major, or Germania, right? And then you had the different factions, vassal states that helped the bigger entity, that supplied the bigger entity, that was a servant to the bigger entity. So these smaller when you're a politician, what they say are I forgot how they said. The House of Cards is a beautiful show to prove that to you. What they do, they're like our constituents. There you go. I'm doing this for our constituents. You know that voted me into office when your ass was placed in office. But you do have people you serving, so to speak, in your state. It might be the oil refiners. It might be goddamn railroad owners and shit like that. You're supplied by them, and then you support them. And if a damn scandal comes up, certain of those politicians, they're bribed or threatened and say, you better fucking help us or we're gonna kill you or some shit like that. But hey, that's just the underbelly of this wicked ass place. But it says they seduced Egypt and the tribes, because they keep lying to them every fucking 4 years. Like, does anything ever goddamn change? No. It says to persuade a vassal, etc., to desert his allegiance or service. So they desert their allegiance or service to the people because they're not for them. They're for the fucking elites that put them in there, man. Oh, man, it says lead away, lead aside, or astray. Woo! And that links up with, I got to get it. That links up with, they have, they lead my people as a flock to the slaughter. Let me get that, man. That's spirit, man. There it is. This is exactly what these devils do, man. It's exactly what we're reading about in Isaiah 19. It said they have seduced Egypt, right? Which is America. It says, behold, my people is led, because our people are here too. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. That slaughter being everything that's coming down the pike. Jacob's trouble, ultimately, a world, a digitalized world. You being CHIP'd. Okay, you having a digital all. You being in the internet of bodies, in the internet of things, right? It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, because the Lord is going to get his elect out of here. All right, excuse me. And it says, lead away, lead aside, or astray. It says, yep. It says to entice a woman to surrender of chastity. And that's exactly what this man is going to ultimately do by way of his NWO. All right? Because the woman that he wants is Israel. But we're married unto the Lord. We are espoused to one husband, man. But a lot of our people is going to get inserted. They're going to get cut open with that MOTB. They're going to be the whore. They're going to play the whore and sleep around and get with E. You know? That's ultimately what's going to happen, man. All right, now back to the blue letter. It's Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, have mingled a perverse spirit. That's why nothing is working for these devils. Everything's going downhill fast. The Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And they have caused Egypt to err, America, in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Yep. It says the Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, has sent a spirit of foolishness. They're doing everything contrary to the Lord. They're doing everything sadistic and satanic. And it's making everything go off. This damn devil Biden, as soon as he got in there, everything as satanic as the eye can see, this demon passed. The ugly ass alphabet people got all these rights. You can change your damn sex or whatever. A child doesn't need the consent of their parents to be a damn alien or whatever. What else? All these satanic churches being risen up. Like, what the fuck? This all types of madness has been going on this whole time. It says the Lord has sent a spirit of foolishness on them. So all their suggestions are wrong. They cause Egypt to stagger like a drunk in his vomit. This is the point. Verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, America, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So ain't no work, man. Everything's going to stop eventually, man. You got the railroad strikes. You got the Mississippi drying up. You got these different natural disasters destroying the fabric of America, man. Everything is going downhill fast. All right. So that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna get a closing script. But yeah, not bad. I'm gonna get a closing scripture for the elect. Since we was in Isaiah, let's go to Isaiah 65. And you already know 13, because we know famine is coming, but the elect is gonna eat. We know death is coming, but the Lord is gonna keep even us and our children from the grave. Now let's go to the point. This is the book of Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. 2/3 of our people are going to be ashamed. They're going to starve. They're going to be thirsty. All right? But the elect is going to eat and drink and be merry. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart of mine, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And be in despair, man. And ye shall leave your name for a curse, because you're gonna be known as black people and Latinos and shit like that. The Lord ain't looking for no black person or Latino or Native American. No, he's looking for Israel and your peculiar tribe, your regal house, Judah, Yehoiada, Loya, Levi, Benjamin, Yeshashkar, Issachar, Asher, Asher. All right, Asher, okay. Rabban, Reuben, Apariam, Ephraim, Manasseh, Naphtali, and then all the rest of the tribes, man. That's who the Lord is looking for. But our people going to leave their name, their beautiful name, YAHAWAH, Israel. He, prince of the power, for a curse for being a nigga, a black person. All right, whatever. And you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, the elect. For the Lord Yahweh Bashimashai power shall slay thee. He going to kill you. And call his servants by another name. YAHAWAH, Israel. YAHWAH. All right. That's it. That's it, man. It says that he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power of truth. Yahawah. And he that sweareth, pretty much you going to keep your vow. You made an oath in the earth shall swear, because we don't even swear anymore, but it goes to show you the vow that the elect is going to keep. Once we're awakened, we're going to stay awake, and then we're going to be changed. It says, and sweareth in the earth shall swear by the power of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten. And going into that time of Jacob's trouble and in the time of temptation, the Lord said he's going to guard us, keep us in the state in which we are in. Man, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes, all of our iniquities and the things we've done, the Lord is going to give us a clean slate because we're under the blood of Mashiach. So, hey, he's going to lead us. Unlike our people being led as a flock to the slaughter, our good shepherd, the good shepherd of the sheep, is going to lead us into a kingdom that shall last forever and into eternal life. So with that, hey, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, by whom we do function. Double honors unto my apostles, my elders, and my teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so, that taught me and brothers like me this truth, this beautiful truth. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, that house of David. Double honors unto my apostles once again. Lord's willing, this was an edifying lesson. To you brothers out there fighting this good fight of faith, keep it up. To you sisters doing that which is becoming of women, Shalawam. And to those that are addicted unto this ministry, I say, Shalawam. Lord's willing, you have been edifying. To the next time, I say, Shalawam, Shalawam. Lord's willing, this was edifying. To the next time, I say, Shalawam. On to the next one. Shalawam.